Okay, so on Valentine's Day, picnic at Hanging Rock in Australia celebrated the end of the Virgin Mary, Pisces, Jesus, age of Europe, Pisces, Africa, Virgo, and the entering into the Twin Peak age. The Twin Peaks represents Aquarius and Capricorn, the only two ages side by side, Aquarius masculine red, to be ruled by Saturn as Capricorn feminine black. NASA represents North America, South America, and that is the Twin Peaks, because Earth is a representation of as above, so below. What's happening as above, we can move. We've already now conquered the four corners, the fortune. When I'm 64, that's why G7 was in Biarritz, which is looking out onto the Atlantic Ocean, where, as Lot's wife in Israel, Mary Magdalene stands on the rocks looking out to the Atlantic Ocean to America. And this film was representing the opposite of NASA, which is Aquarius Capricorn, which is opposite Solomon, Leo Cancer. Leo rules Sun, Sun rules Leo, and Moon rules Cancer. So this opposition is exactly what we've just lived. And from my last video, from Notre Dame till now, we are now making that crossover, that end of the age. And this film, Picnic at Hanging Rock, is the Victorian European girl sent to Australia, where Asia, yellow, will be opposite red, America, and we end Europe, white, opposite black, Virgo. That is the medicine wheel. That is the four corners. That is when I'm 64. That is the four musketeers. That is the transmutation age of the mutable cross. Jupiter rules Pisces, Sagittarius, and Mercury rules Virgo, Gemini. So we've just done Virgo ruled by Mercury, Pisces ruled by Jupiter. That's MJ, Michael Jackson, Jazz and Marciac, Mick Jagger. I used to live at 32 Rue Jean Mermoz in Paris, just off L'Étoile. L'Étoile is Charlotte's Web, Lot's wife. Sodom and Gomorrah, Simon and Garfunkel, like a bridge over troubled water. So this film represents the end of the Virgin Marys, the Virgin suicides, Mary Magdalene, white, black, and Valentine's Day, funny, because I have done, as you know, I was crucified. My dog, Happy, died on the day that we had the Odyssey 2001, Mars on Aldebaran. And in fact, my heart has never spun more fiercely. I have Jupiter on regular South Leo, and I have my Mercury, Venus, and Moon on Fomalhaut. So I've got that opposition of Leo, Aquarius, and I also have that Pisces Virgo opposition, and I'm making it from the black and white to the yellow and the red, as we all are. Appleyard College, Not for Nothing, Macedonia, Mount Macedon, Victoria, and this is the connection between Australia and Europe. We're making that jump from Europe to Australia. And so I just had a friend come and stay with me, and we looked at his chart, and he also has this Aquarius Leo opposition. He is the early days of Leo and Pluto, and I'm the end of that generation, Leo and Pluto. He is born He's born on St. Valentine's Day, which is the beginning of this film.
What we see and what we see are but a dream within a dream.
Sleeping Beauty has transmuted lead to gold. She wakes up from the age of Pisces, Europe, Virgo, Africa into Asia, North America, South America. Orange. Yellow and red is orange. So we hand over the Pluto in Leo generation. Pluto's been in Sagittarius for 20 years. And Pluto is about to go into Capricorn. So this is the time for all the children born between 68 to 86. Rosemary's Babies take over the show.
Meet me, love, when day is ending. I love thee for thy high-born grace, thy deep and lustrous eye, for the sweet meaning of thy brow, and for thy bearing so high. 6, 7, and 8, 9, 10, and
11. The 11th door is Aquarius.
Was that fair?
L even. Mid L. We
For the cupids that do lie.
go through the door of purgatory and we merge heaven and earth. Masculine, feminine. The right, left side of the swastika spin. 322 skull and bones, pirate's cross, and we become fixed. There they are, the four corners becoming fixed. And we enter orange between yellow and red, but they never tell us we're entering the Twin Peaks. G7 was in Biarritz. The flag of Biarritz is red and black because Aquarius is red and black is Capricorn. Those are the two sides of the coin. Male and female, right, left, electromagnetic, heart, pulse. Leo is the heart, the lion's heart. The Fibonacci code, she's flattening, flower pressing, she's flattening the heart. The four palm trees, Appleyard College, St. Valentine's Day. Okay, we're going to go to the sky now, and we're going to catch up a little bit from what's going on right now in the sky. Let's just try and get him. Okay, so here we are right now today, 2032, 8:32. They just had the 8th festival of Lupiac, the home of D'Artagnan, in the 32nd department. So not for nothing, 8 is the Horus Boreas. It's the gate 8 or 8 by the lion in the lion's den. So right now, at this moment, we've got Mars and Sun conjunction in Leo. And we had all the planets here. They were on regulars for the last black moon. And we're getting ready for a full moon, which is going to be on the 14th of the 9th. And I'm going to be showing you all that. And I'm going to be showing you everything from my last video up to now. But let's just have a little look at what's happening right now. So we've got Mercury still in Leo. And we've got Venus still in Leo. Everybody's still in Leo right now today. And the opposition on the 14th will then have Mercury and Venus in Virgo. And we're going to be going from this fixed energy of this summer into this mutable wind in the willows, breeze, time of transmutation. And because mainstream astrology has us on one sign away, that's why G7, I thought that G7 was the 23rd of September, which would make it as the tropical astrology had G7, because I had G7 for the Lion Gates, Babylon, but actually the true coming to the Mary Magdalene, ending the Holy Grail, is coming up for this new full moon that will be on the 14th. So let's see, let's go through everything. I'm going to go to my blog. The best way to catch up with everything I've been doing is on my blog. So we're going to go to the last article and we're going to go through everything that's been going on. So this was my last video, was the 17th of June. So let's start with the Twin Peaks. So we had in 9/11/2001, we had Jack. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after, and that's Notre Dame 18 years later. We know that the head and the tail of the snake, the hypothetical paths that the moon and the sun make, when the sun and the moon are on those hypothetical paths, we have an eclipse. And that's why in the Bible they say in the kingdom, when we enter the Twin Peaks, we'll no longer be in Solomon, we'll no longer be in the sun and the moon. Jack and Jill, you personally would have merged your DNA, your Mercury Caduceus, and this is representing the DNA. They don't want you to escape the flesh and to return to spirit. They want to keep you in the flesh. So we've had that 2001 and 2019, 2001, 9/11, 2019, the Notre Dame, okay? And we can only do this personally. This is a transmutation of lead to gold, okay? The small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few ever find it. This is the 1444, and that is 72 plus 72 is 144, which is a double twin peak age. The sun moves 72 degrees per age, so the sun's now going to do 144 age. This is the golden age. We merge lead to gold. Okay, let's go to the next one. I think I can come here. So after Jack and Jill, we had solar eclipse, new black moon, the 2nd of July. So we'll look at it here and then we'll look on stellarium. Okay, so there was a sun and a moon conjunction. That's what a black moon is, when the moon and the sun are conjunct. And they were, as for the Twin Peaks 9/11, here we have the head of the snake and the tail of the snake opposite Saturn and Pluto, which represents lead to gold in Sagittarius, tail of snake in Sagittarius, and head in Gemini. Gemini is the mutable cross, as Sagittarius, air, fire, and we leave the age of Pisces, Virgo, so earth, water. This is the skull and bones cross. This is why it's such a big thing to have the head and the tail on Gemini's Sagittarius, as we leave the age of Jesus, Pisces, Virgo, Mary Magdalene. So we had Jack, Gemini. Jack is Jupiter. Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and Mercury, Caduceus, rules Gemini. Mercury rules Virgo, and Jupiter rules Pisces. It's the MJ mutable cross. Okay, and so you can see we had that. It's talking about Rahu, Ketu, explaining it. Karmic reset every 18 years. So we're over that period from 9/11 till now. In 9/11, I was beginning my divorce. I met somebody I called D'Artagnan. And this was very much the second introduction to me getting ready to come to this former halt, third eye, and that was a journey. So it's funny because that D'Artagnan has been in touch with me recently, and it's as if everybody, and I've had a revisit of the person that was born on Valentine's Day, like Picnic at Hanging Rock, who's just come to visit me. We went to see D'Artagnan today. I had a festival in 2013, which was very much celebrating that Petronelle, D'Artagnan, Jack and Jill, the twin DNA strands, and all these people and the recent person I've met all have this former halt, Aquarius, Leo gates opposition that we're entering from Virgo Pisces to Leo Aquarius. Here we have the transmutation, the sun and the moon. There will be no more need for the sun and the moon. We become one. Lord of the Rings is Saturn that rules Aquarius and Capricorn. We merge, we become the masters of our Jack and Jill. We have the crown on our head. We transmuted lead to gold. Okay, so let's go and look at this journey on stellarium. I think it will be easier. Okay, so let's go back and see these months since Notre Dame. So Notre Dame was April, and it was about April the 15th, yep, when the moon was on Regulus. Mary Magdalene, Notre Dame, wipes the feet of Jesus. Solomon, the sun rules Leo, the moon rules Cancer. And for the famous Notre Dame falling down, it was on Regulus, the fire, hell. So then we had the 19th, and then the 21st was Easter Day, and that was the famous, we had, as in 2001 Odyssey, we had on the bullseye Mars. Here we go, Mars, right on the bullseye, Aldebaran. This is the fate philosopher's stone. This is Egypt. The Babylonians is Leo. and they want to keep us in Isis, Babylon, and this was the famous Mars. That's when my dog Happy died. And Aldebaran is ruled by Venus, and Venus is the heart frequency, as Leo is ruled by the sun and is also associated with the heart. The Lion King, Louis XIV, who was a friend of D'Artagnan. Louis XIV is the Sun King. So this is Mars trying to take over. Mars rules Scorpio and Uranus. Uranus is now in Aries. Mars rules Scorpio and Aries. Uranus is now in Aries, and Jupiter is just finishing in Scorpio. So that's fire and ice. Aries is fire and Scorpio is water, ice. Mars rules fire and ice. So Mars is the god that doesn't want any other gods, the age of Ra, and they want to keep us in Taurus, Ra, taking over the 11. Aquarius is the 11th house, and they want to make that into their twin peaks of fire and ice, when the twin peaks is Capricorn and Aquarius, red and black. NASA. North America already conquered, the fires in South America, Amazon, that's what's been going on. So we have Jupiter that rules a mutable cross, Sagittarius, Pisces, still in Scorpio on Ophiuchus, the eternal war with the snake. And Scorpio is ruled by Mars, and we've got Uranus in Aries, and we won't be able to see it. I have to go find him. Take your time. Uranus. Okay, there's Uranus in Aries, and at that time it was conjunct to the sun. So although that sun was just in Aries. Yeah, it was just in Aries. It was on the 33rd. You see, that's the true constellation, and we're no longer on Aries. Aquarius, we're coming to the end of Pisces now. They keep us stuck on Alpha, Omega, Aries, Libra. And that was the day that my dog died. Okay, so that's where we were, and we're going to see what's been going on since then. So I think that there's so much to see that you have to come back, because this goes straight from the last video to that solar eclipse, to the Labyrinth Black Magic eclipse preparation, all the eclipses we've been through. And I think that we're just going to miss all that because there's so much here. We have the Lion Gates, and then we begin Mercury in Cancer and 16th of July, partial lunar eclipse. So we're going to jump to the 16th of July. That wasn't very much on that one. Let's go see the 16th of July. So July 16th. So we have the sun, we have Merlin, this is the magician, this is the solar lunar pinnacle, this is Orion's belt that pretends to be Giza. The three pyramids of Giza are Fomalhaut. Fomalhaut are the three biggest stars with the biggest one in the middle. It's the true third eye. This is all the Isis Babylonian black magic, trying to keep us in the flesh. Inverted Taurus, made to be masculine, bull when it's Venus feminine. So we had the sun here and the moon. Moon in Scorpio, so opposite. So this was the partial. That means that the head and the tail They were right by the head of the tail of the snake at that moment. Let's go see. Okay, so this might be more to the point. Mercury is at 1% visible and very retrograde. Mercury will be combust to the sun on the 21st. This is a moment of perfection within. Transmutation completed led to gold. And Uranus will be square too in Aries. This is the change and the merging of the DNA twins. We just had a partial lunar eclipse in Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter, still retro in Scorpio, fixed, cross, last chance to get fixed. And what we saw was the Isis horns of the moon. That was the Odyssey 2001, ending of the mutable cross binary code. 2001-2019 is half the croissant moon horns, 18-year cycle of head and tail of snake. Okay, so here we have the sun in Gemini, just in Gemini. These are wonderful pictures taken by a friend. And we were on the true Midsummer Night's Dream because all the constellation is off. You see, this is in the 7th of July, not of June, as Midsummer Night's Dream is. We had the moon right on top of Fomalhaut, the true third eye of the Twin Peaks. Yeah, that was, so that was, this was the Mon, Solo Mon. So we had this beginning, so you had the black moon on the 1st of the 8th, there was that black moon. You can just see the moon is on that sun. So we had the black moon in Cancer on the 1st of the 8th. So we're still in Cancer on the 8th. We're not in Leo. This is the Mon. Then we had the black moon in Leo. So let's go to that. Let's see, that black moon was on the 8th of the 1st. Let's go to that. Voila, right there. There's that black moon. So let's go see the next black moon 1 month after. There's the moon, so it was just behind. '30th of the 8th. So the 30th of the 8th, here we have everybody in Leo. This is Solomon, right on Regulus. You can go read all the articles, but this is the Lion's Gate. This is why in Lupiac we had the gates, the lion gates set up. And this is why we have in Orsh, the capital of the 32nd department. And that's why the Skull and Bones cross is 322, because 3-2 twice is 64, where G7 has just been in Biarritz. So this was the time of G7. G7 was from the 24th of the 8th, and we had the moon, look, for the opening on Aldebaran, of course, of the G7. And if we go back to see everybody in Leo, so it was making a square to all these planets in Leo. Here we go, they were all bang on top of Regulus for the opening of G7, but mainstream astrology will have had this all on Virgo, which makes sense because the Virgin Mary stands on those rocks looking out onto the Atlantic. But it was actually a Babylonian ritual, those dates exactly for G7 to, they want to keep us on this lion, Asia, yellow, opposite, red, Aquarius. They don't want us to go into the Twin Peaks. They want to keep us in Sol Omon in the south, and not going into the north, which is opposite. Okay, the opposite here, Fomalhaut. Fomalhaut is the true twin peaks. So here we go. Fomalhaut, Aquarius, Capricorn, red, black, opposite Aquarius, opposite Leo, ruled by the sun, chaos, this is order, and creation, black, Capricorn, opposite Cancer, destruction, creation. Okay, so we want to get up here to the twin peaks. We leave the age of Pisces and we come into red, and they want to keep us in this red opposite yellow Asia, where they've prepared Australia and New Zealand to be part of Asia, and they've prepared Canada to be part, also the British Commonwealth. So Europe wants to keep its hold into this twin peak age. They know that as we are in heaven and earth, we will be below in Asia, the south. So I imagine Asia is going to take a very strong hold now. Well, that's certainly what they want. And Australia and New Zealand are prepared, Lord of the Rings, to take over the Lord of the Rings, the imposters, so that we don't enter the true Lord of the Rings north. This is south. Okay, let's see what other pictures. This was a crop circle, which showed us the sun with Mars and Venus, exactly like the transmutation of the DNA. And there we have that image of the sun. Oh, one of them has got exactly like the crop circle. Yep. On the 26th, we have Mars and Venus sitting on each side of the sun in Cancer. So here we go, Mars and Venus and the sun right in the middle, like this crop circle. And this is all about merging the DNA. And there was that Yod. You have to go back to read it to remember, see where I was in all my thinking. It joins all the dots. Okay. So after the 24th, let's get back to everyone on regulars. So we had, this was G7 until the 27th. We're now on the 7th of the 9th. So we just had, where is the moon? The moon will be up somewhere behind. Let's go get the moon. Okay, moon in Libra here, 5, 6, 7. Moon in Sagittarius. Okay, let's just go see G7. Let's go see G7. Okay, Mary Magdalene ends the Holy Grail in Biarritz. When I am that I am 64 is 64th department. Lot's wife turned to stone. We enter the Twin Peaks and MM looks out onto the Atlantic Ocean to NASA, North South America for the New Age, or stuck in the New Age cage, like a bridge over troubled water. Then this is all about the fires, windows. These are the four corners. When I'm 64. Africa, Asia, Europe, America. When I'm 64, here we go. And that's why we had in the news on the same day, Rennes le Chateau, which is all about the Holy Grail journey. the Leonardo da Vinci, the Four Seasons, and they basically want to keep us stuck in Scorpio and not becoming the 13th. The 13th sign they've given us is Ophiuchus, the hero, Hercules, and that is the eternal war with the snake, with the flesh. We must look the snake in the eye, as Moses says, from the burning bush to look to the pole on the wisdom. That's to look in the eyes of Lucifer, Libra, Alpha, Omega. Look into the eyes of the beast. This is what's happening. They want to keep Solomon. The sun rules Leo, moon rules Cancer, and this is exactly what we're living. This is the labyrinth, which is in my village of Aignan, D'Artagnan, Aignan, the dart. The dart is the flesh that hits the middle of the labyrinth. The electromagnetic left-right spin is when we can see both sides of the coin. We can spin right and left. The swastika are double DNA strands. Okay, there's the labyrinth in my village. This is like the Leonardo da Vinci man, two sides of the coin. There's the burning bush. So we've got there, here we have Saturn that rules Aquarius and Capricorn. This is the constellation we go on to. Fomalhaut Aquarius opposite Leo, the burning gates of hell, the rising Sphinx. Okay, so then we have the fires. Let's see this last article, the one before the last one. So the coming black moon ritual on Regulus Aslan, this is the last attempt. So we just saw that last black moon ritual. We'll just go back to show you. Okay, it was around here. There we go. That last black moon ritual was boom on the 30th. On the 30th of August, we had the end of the two Solomon and this massive gateway with everybody here. We've got Mercury, Moon, Sun, Mars just hidden underneath here. There's Mars and Venus. I mean, what a lineup on Babylon. So that was on the 30th. And then we've just had the full moon. So that means that the moon was in Aquarius. Let's go see the moon in Aquarius. So we just missed it. That's the 16th. We're not there yet. Today, yeah, this is coming up. We've got the, it's going to be, that's what I was saying, on the 14th. On the 14th, it's going to be opposite the sun. And that moon is just in Aquarius there in Aquarius. So that's the 14th full moon that we're going to be having. So this was the black moon, so all month under the energy of Leo, and Leo's really going to try and keep us in those lion gates. And this is just connections with the wizards. And there's something, this is, so we've got the head of the snake on Sirius, fixed star Sirius. Yes, wizard is Darwin down under in Oz again. Regulus. See, Regulus is the star that all the planets are on, and I didn't even know this, but in Harry Potter there is obviously some bloke called Regulus, as in the Lion King, that's just come back out for this Lion Gates ritual. There we have the same that I've just showed you, the black moon on the 30th in Regulus. Mars, Venus, Sun, Moon, Black Moon, Juno, Mercury, here we have it all here. The Lion Gates, the Sphinx opposite Giza, this opposition. So These three people I've just done charts for, and the three people that have brought me to this knowing, and that I go to D'Artagnan. Today I went to see the museum at last of D'Artagnan. It's all, here we have the Lion Gates in Orge, the capital of the 32nd department. This is like the labyrinth. It takes 2 32s to make When I Am 64. Very much like Notre Dame, the Cathedral of Saint-Marie. Saint-Marie, Saint-Marie, Ishtar. It's the labyrinth. G7. So here we have wanting to keep us with Merlin the magician, wanting to keep Solomon as the king, and they only give us south, west and east, but never the north pillar. They've got over here hidden another pillar, the magician up to tricks. As I showed you, the true third eye is Formerholt. They've got us stuck on Aldebaran with the magician, and when we are in the south, if they try to keep Solomon as north, so that's why they tell us that Aldebaran is east, and they tell us that Antares is west, when Antares, when we have Formerholt as the true north, Antares becomes the east, and the west way is Aldebaran. We're no longer on this equinox. We are entering into the Twin Peaks opposite, and there is 4 pillars, not 3. It's not the 369. The line broke, the monkey got choked. This is the trap. We don't want to stay stuck in the lion's den. But this is the energy they want to keep us on, because we're going to be entering into Capricorn. You see, at the moment, we've got Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter coming up behind in Scorpio. Next year, Jupiter's going to be in Sagittarius, joining Saturn, so the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then they will all hit Capricorn, which is part of the Twin Peaks, and we're on the true north. So that gives us the west and the east. When we're on the true peaks here, west is Scorpio and east is Aldebaran. Yeah, so they tell us Aldebaran. I get confused. But these are the 2 pillars that they give us, and they give us the south, but never the north. You see on this chart, they give us REG Regulus, ALD Aldebaran, ANT Antares, but never the North Star. And this is this opposition. These are the gates, the gateway from the fires of the Phoenix up to open the true third eye. True transmutation from chaos, destruction, into creation, order. This is the energy of I know, this is the energy of I do. Finished I believe, Jupiter Pisces. Finished I see, Sagittarius. But we've got a whole hot year of big transmutation to come next year when Jupiter is in Sagittarius. But once Jupiter hits with his friends Saturn and Pluto Capricorn, then we will have had to have transmuted, and we enter this earthly realm of earth and heaven and female and masculine. Mainstream astrology has us entering into Aquarius because they are ahead of us. It doesn't really matter. Jupiter is in the ship once he's in Capricorn. He's considered in fall, and Saturn will retake the reign of his, he rules Capricorn and Saturn. Okay, so next, last article. Let's have a look at today's. So this is where we're at right now. Now, Dante wrote the famous The Divine Comedy. The story of the narrator's journey through hell and purgatory to paradise. Well, that is Leo to Aquarius. It impacts on modern life in that it's a picture of what hell is like with its ice and sulfurous fire. Well, that is Mars. That's why we've just seen the red sun in Australia, because Mars is conjunct the sun at the moment. And this is the finalization of when Happy died on Easter Day, Ishtar, wanting to keep us stuck on Aldebaran. When Mars was on that labyrinth, Aldebaran, Venus rules Taurus and Libra. So it's all very, very symbolic. You're going to have to go back and read through these articles, but you see there's Mars and Sun conjunct. That is that red sun in Down Under Oz, getting ready to take over the reins of this opposition of red, yellow Asia, red NASA, North America, Capricorn, South America, black. Okay, so Dante wrote the famous poem, which is the journey of transmutating the two sides of the coin, the swastika spin, right, left, seeing two sides of the coin and escaping this overlay of this flat material Fibonacci code, which is actually not lineal, but an eternal torus field of electromagnetic life. So Dante is like Miranda in Picnic at Hanging Rock, Anda, A-N-D-A, is the DNA, and Dante is the T, the sword in the stone, the word in the tone, that separates the An, Da, Miranda. She's called Miranda, the girl in this film. Black, white.
Brown horse grey, trotting down the paddock on a bright sunny day. Someday, Sarah, you shall have to come home with me to the station, to Queensland, and meet my sweet and funny family for yourself. Would you like that? You must learn to love someone else apart from me, Sarah.
So this is to stop
Much longer.
in the mirror, being in love with the reflection, to merge through the mirror. The swan.
Miranda, somebody had the nerve to send Miss McCraw a card on squared paper covered with tiny sums.
The gateway, the twin DNA strands, rows of the labyrinth.
Good morning, Mademoiselle de Pau.
I've already been through this film. With you. You have to go back and watch my videos on the triple goddess. This is the bridge over troubled water, four corners.
Thought the little fat one was going to take a bath. Some of them are real look at. Have a look at the shape of the dark one with the curls. Built like an hourglass. I never go with the last one, the blonde. Oh, she'd have a decent pair of legs. All the way up to her bum.
I'd rather you didn't say crude things like that, Hub.
I say the crude things. You just think them. Take my word for it. The Sheilas are all alike when it comes to the fellas.
Miranda.
Doesn't matter.
Anda is Dante. Anda is Dante. Dante. Okay, so he did this. This is, so we got the Middle Earth, Purgatory, Heaven and Hell. You've got to merge the two. Dart is the dart that goes into the flesh, into the bullseye. It's the Elon Musk, Lone Ranger, Lone Elon Noel Scum, last corner of the fortune spin. Fomalhaut is the North Star, that word in the tone. The philosophers rejected, they chose the bullseye, Aldebaran. Okay, here we go. So on the 14th, we're going to have the sun moving from Leo into Virgo, and here we have the 14th, the sun opposite the moon. So the sun is just in Leo, the moon is just in Aquarius, and then they move to finish the age of Pisces, Virgo. The moon will go into Pisces and the sun will go into Virgo. This is the crossing over. We have the moon not far from Fomalhaut, and here we have that passage of Leo into Aquarius, twin peaks merged. And these are the images of the Phoenix rising, and the Sphinx, Leo, to join the Lamb when the lion lies down with the lamb. DNA DAN twin strands. Dante is a contracted form of the Italian name Durant, which means steadfast, enduring, from the Latin duros, meaning hard, firm. The name Dante was most famously borne by Dante Alighieri. The 13th, we're going through the 13th door, century poet who gave the world one of the greatest pieces of literature in the Middle Ages, Midel, L-even, Midel, E-L-L, Noel, Elon, Leon, Babylon, the Grand Commedia, the Divine Comedy, divine or divide. This masterpiece is divided into three parts, Inferno, mutable, Purgatory, fixed, and Paradise, cardinal. So we go from Virgo, Inferno, to fixed Aquarius, to cardinal Capricorn, liquid, solid, gas, neutron, proton, electron, and L. It tells of Dante's journey through hell, purgatory, and heaven to merge the three crosses. We come out of hell, Virgo, virgin suicides, into Aquarius, Capricorn. Or more simply, it's an allegory of the soul's journey towards God. Dante himself wrote that the comedy was a passage from the human to the divine. We go from below belt, lust, Leo, teenager, into above belt, the lamb that thinks of the all humanity, no more separation between male and female, all this transgender, agenda bender, all this transhumance, which is just moving sheep from one age to another, one pasture to another, is just because we can find and merge our male and female within us. Okay, so here we have the bullseye. This is when we find that place of paradise. We've made the spin left, right. The labyrinth becomes an eternal Taurus field. There's the twin peaks, the twins. We make it through. Here's Dante with purgatory, hell, and heaven. Or I would say that's heaven over here. Dante with his crown of thorns, Game of Thrones. Like we had at Notre Dame, they managed to save the headpiece, the crown of thorns. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown. Jill came tumbling after. So Dante created the image, and here we have the T of Dante. We've got Miranda, as in this film, in the Tempest, Miranda. So we've got Anda, Anda with a T in the middle, Anda, DNA, or the sword in the stone. The word, this is just the same as Merlin, Arthur's Round Table, the testosterone, the T-Rex, the bridge. This is the Ark of the Covenant. This is the merging. So you can go read that. And this is Ophiuchus. And this is the 13th sign in the new zodiac, which is the eternal war with the snake. Aquarius carries the snake, the water bearer. He's found the wisdom. Here's the snake. He's carrying the snake. He doesn't get trapped here, where Jupiter is now, trying to keep us stuck in Scorpio. Jupiter is the flesh, and Uranus is currently in Aries. Uranus and Jupiter work together to keep us in the flesh. We want to come here to this Twin Peaks, to the north. Okay, so this is, you see, Taurus here, the Templars, trying to keep us stuck in this eternal waging war. And Dante, DNA, rules Scorpio. In the sector of Scorpio, there is the constellation Serpens, the serpent, a viper that bites the horse's heels. When the horse and rider fall backward, can be seen because Sagittarius descends lower than Scorpio. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Isis, Taurus, Ra, Aries. They want to take us into the fake Twin Peaks. Dan shall be a serpent in the way, a viper by the path, that bites the horse's heels so that his rider falls backwards. Jack falls down and breaks his crown. Wait for thy salvation, O Lord. So we got to make it to the Twin Peaks. 21st of the 12th, 2020. Jupiter, Saturn fight for the throne. Those who remain in the flesh, those who are ready to transmute to spirit. This is what's going on. And the only way you can really join the dots is to go through all my videos and be guided to this now. Let's just see right now. Let's go back to right now. What's happening right now? Okay, this is now 2120. So right now we've got Jupiter in Scorpio. We've got all the planets leaving Leo, and we're going to be coming into this mutable energy, and we're not quite there yet. We still have Venus, Mercury, Sun, and Mars in Leo, but they are all going to be going into Virgo. Well, at least Mercury and Venus are, and for the 14th full moon, they will be just on that borderline. And there is a video you can watch that explains all this in a different way, explains exactly the numbers, 144 from 9/11 to this full moon, which finalizes the Jack and Jill DNA. Jill, Mary Magdalene, Jack, Jupiter in Pisces rules Pisces, and this is what has to become one. Merging Europe and Africa to come into Asia, Oz, down under in Oz, Narnia, Aslan, keeping us all in the sunny side up, when actually it's the Ice Queen. It's the Ice Queen that takes us into Saturn is contraction, ice cold. It's going to be hot next year still because Jupiter will be in his own sign. He will move over here. Got Saturn and the moon. The moon is right now in Sagittarius too, but next year Jupiter goes here. Okay, so that's a lot for you to work on, all on your own, but it's all there. And I just needed to catch up a little bit with you. perfect 1 hour long video. Sending so much love. Bye.